Hello and welcome to Buckman's Model Mania. Today we're going to be working on stage 7 of the Batmobile from Fanhome. Lost my train of thought there for a second. Let's go ahead and get the book open, and then we'll cut open the parts and we'll go from there. And this issue is starting to work on the engine block itself. We did the major portions of the transmission on the last couple of videos, and now we've got the engine block. So we've got, looks like 3 AM screws and 2 TP screws. I'm wondering if they finally standardized the screws between the builds, because TP seems like a really odd screw to get in issue 7 of a part work. So sorry for all the noise. They make these things out of the noisiest plastic possible. So we have, let's see, what is 7F? We've got the distributor cap plug, and it is V8. There are 10 of these, so there are 2 spares. Got the engine block itself, or half of the engine block. Come on. And it is die cast. Let's see. Stop fighting with it, just get the tweezers. So this is going to be the distributor cap. And yes, it is 8 cylinders. This is going to be the center of the distributor cap, where the wire goes in, a bracket. Let's see, this is probably 7H. No, that's 7H. What is, 7D. Distributor cap shaft. Some really inventive names for these parts. Another bracket. What is 7G? Vacuum advance. So there will be more lines coming. Let's go ahead and turn the page on here. And it shows that the right engine bracket and the distributor are located inside the car there. So I'm looking at this, and I looked at it earlier and I was like, how are they saying to do this? Okay, so this is turn the engine the way it's supposed to look. And I believe, which part is this? Okay, so we're going to attach these 2 parts together. And there's a post down there for something. I'm guessing a screw will go in there. 2 holes in the top. 1 hole, 1 pin. They're both are marked with an R. So this is going to go on here like that. That's very odd, because it says to use an AM screw, but this isn't. I don't believe that this is metal. It looks like it's plastic. But that is the way it goes together. So we're going to use an AM screw, but I'm not going to put any oil on it because I don't think it's going into metal. I believe that's plastic. Just because. Let me see. Okay, so the TP screw gets used later on. That is very odd. Using an AM screw on what, like I said, I believe is plastic. Yeah, it sure looks like plastic. So that's gonna, you just line up the pin. Come on, line up the pin, line up the 2 parts, put the screw through the top, and it's going into it like it's plastic. And just tighten it on down. Tighten it until it's snug, and then it's going to look like that. This part in turn, using another AM screw, this is really odd. It's going to attach right here. Screw's going to come in from the back, unless I'm missing it, those are plastic parts that we're putting screws that are supposed to be going into metal. But it's the screws I got. So we're going to take this screw, we're going to put it in from the back side here, holding this part in place. Is this screw even long enough? Okay. And it twisted. Tighten that back up a little bit because I felt it when I felt it when I turned it, corrected it. It loosened just a hair. And so that's what that looks like on the engine. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this, and it says just push it into the top. This centerpiece here doesn't look like there's anything that is actually going to hold it in place. I could be wrong because it's not wanting to go in there straight right now. Take my tweezers and see if I can push it down in there. Let's not take the pointed tweezers. Let's see if we can find either a pair of beat up ones or flat nosed ones. This would probably work. We're gonna, if we can. Okay, actually now it makes sense because it is actually a snug fit. Pops in there nicely, stays in place. And so we've got to snip these off, and I've seen people twist parts off. I'm like, ooh, no. If you're wondering, yes, I finally went out and bought a pair of semi-decent snips. These are not God hands by any stretch of the imagination, which is what Ian swears by. I'm not going to use, or not going to spend $50 on God hands. I just realized there are 10. Only one is a spare. I was thinking there were 2 spares. But these snips should remove any residual bump on there. I shouldn't have to sand it, and at this scale I wouldn't anyway. With as small as these are, that should be the last one I need. Let me put this back on because while these are high precision snippers, they also break really easy. That's part of the reason I would not ever spend $50 on a pair of them. So we're going to push this on here, and of course we're looking at black on black, which makes it very interesting to see. And it's actually pretty snug when you push it on there. You can see that I did the center one, and it is very snug when it goes on. So hopefully over the next year, while it's bouncing around in my storage bin, it will not lose any of these. I'm looking at these. Actually, if we do lose any, it looks like they would probably, the wire that's going to go on here would probably just slide over top of the pin that it's going on to. This is just an additional detail they're adding. I was going to try and use the tweezers, but it's a little bit easier using my fingers. When we get down to the last couple, it might be easier to use the tweezers. As I'm going around, I'm also making sure that they're all the way down. This is the 5th one going on now. I don't know if you're hearing that little popping when it goes on, but it is very snug when it slides on here. No glue needed, although it is funny because sometimes when you use glue, the glue will actually lubricate it to where it will slide on a little bit easier. Come on, get on there. And here is the last one, using the tweezers to get it in place. And there you have all the caps on there. What are they calling them? Distributed cap. Oh, cap. They're distributed cap plugs. That is where the wire is going to hook up. Not too shabby. And we got the vacuum advance line here. We've got a D-shaped hole there, D-shaped pin. It's going to pop on here. Make sure you get the D shape correct, otherwise it will not fit. And it's just going to push on here like that. And I've not a car quite this old, but I have had a car with which did not have which had points and a rotor and a whole 9 yards like that. I always wondered what that little thing was on the top side. I did not realize it was the vacuum advance. So now we're going to take this and we're going to put this piece right here, the tower for it. And it does have, there's a small keyway there and there. So this can only go on one way, or so they think. But it will lock it in place. Let me go ahead and get out a TP, one of the TP screws, so I can tighten it down. Todd was talking about this last night when you're trying to get just one screw. He was working on I think he was working on the Eleanor, and he was fighting with getting just one screw out of the bag, and it just wasn't working. It's kind of funny. So now put this back into the right spot. Come on, line that keyway up. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to get the screw started on here. Now that it's started, I can hold that in place maybe a little bit, not so much. It's disagreeable. Okay, stay in there. It is just not wanting to stay in place. Once I get it all the way down, I'll be able to twist it and get it to stay there. But it's just kind of tricky to get it to stay there while you're putting it on. Okay, it's in place. Let's tighten this down last little bit. And there is the distributor tower. Does not move. So now we're going to take this, again, D-shaped hole there, D-shaped pin. We're going to push the two of them together. And there you've got your distributor, got one spare pin, or one spare plug. And that, my friends, is all there is to do in that stage. Thank you for stopping by. Come on over to Hobby Time Modelers on Facebook, YouTube, and Discord. Links will be in the description. As I mentioned, we have streams, multiple streams during the week. You're welcome to join. Once you join our Discord, that's where we'll post the link. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a great day. Have a great day tomorrow. And I will see you in the next video.